Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back to the Girls Ask Guys show, hurricane version.
Yeah, it's fun. Yes, as you can hear, there's a little bit of an echo because our good friend John here was actually caught in Hurricane Laura, and it's kind of shitty. John, why don't you explain to everybody what's going on?
Oh, let's see. Okay, so as you heard on our last show, as we were recording, the hurricane was actually coming in. So that's a little quick. I don't know how long. I think it's maybe 3 minutes. It's a little quick episode right there. So I actually spent a couple of days in the area. And if everybody's heard of Lake Charles, I'm just outside of that. I'm literally like maybe 9 miles away from there. They say 18, but that's city center. I'm about 9 miles away. The hurricane came through and it totally wiped out everything. There are buildings on the ground. I have a picture on my phone. It's of a cell tower that was 150 feet tall. It's now a pretzel.
Jesus. I can only imagine the devastation. And obviously, there's hurricane relief funds and everything, so I like to think we're probably going to link those into this episode. Just, you guys need to be aware, it's really tragic, and we were making jokes about it as it was happening. We were laughing, but I mean, there's people with, like 6 kids, I imagine, who have to, feed those kids.
Yeah, at the hospital, there was actually 4 medical workers. There were expectant mothers. Like, when this hurricane was happening at one hospital, they did not have the facilities to actually help these women through because it was danger to the mother and the child. So they transported them from that hospital to another hospital during the hurricane.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's not a short trip. I've driven that route. It's probably a good 6 miles away going through the city. And they actually, the nurses and everybody, they actually stayed there. Mom is fine, kids are fine. And then they had to evacuate everybody out of all of the hospitals because there's no power, no water, no internet. Everything was being run off of emergency generator backup. And there's been a couple of people, they've actually died because they were running their generators in the house. There was one who was...
Wait, what?
Yeah. They were scared.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they were scared that their generator was going to be stolen, so they just moved it in the house. And
oh, okay.
There was another one, it was started to rain a little bit, I guess, so they brought their barbecue grill in the house. The house survived the storm, the wind. It did not survive the ensuing flames from the barbecue grill.
Okay.
Barbecue grills and generators do not belong in the home.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you have any of that stuff in your house, I would like you to pause this real quick and go get it out of there. And that's just not for hurricane safety. That's literally for your immediate safety. Because I don't want to hear about that. That's ridiculous, and that's tragic. Also,
you survive all this stuff, then you die because
catch your own damn house on fire.
Well, there's no other way of saying it. Stupidity. I mean, that's
right.
The actual hurricane. I literally texted Ashley. I was like, "I'm going to sleep." I woke up at 1 a.m. because of the air pressure change that took place. Now, I've been through tornadoes and earthquakes, so I was like, okay. I don't want the roof to like literally pop off the top of the house. So I opened the windows, just a little tiny crack all around the house. When the air pressure changed, my ears popped and I woke up. That's when you really heard the winds. And it's like, if you've ever been through a tornado, okay, an F2 is about 150 miles an hour and it just kind of comes through. It's here and it's gone within minutes. This was over an hour of sustained 115 mile an hour winds.
Oh my goodness.
And then I came over and then the back end was pretty much not a whole lot. But yeah, I had 12 trees in my house or around my house.
Yeah, luckily, you said you lost a couple, right?
Yeah, none of them actually hit the house, thank goodness. But yeah, there was, I think I have 5 left.
Well,
so, hey, less twigs and branches.
I was going to say less maintenance, less raking, I guess. Yeah. I mean, really, it's not, that sucks, dude. I mean, and then you had to hightail it because there was no power for miles and miles.
Yeah, I think, I went from where I'm at in Sulphur to the next city over, which was Vinton. And that's the first place I actually had any kind of cell connection. The cell tower's down, internet was down, power's down, water's out. I mean, it looked like a war zone is what it looked like. So I called everybody and I texted everybody. I was like, hey, I'm fine. No major, I've lost some shingles off the roof. That's about it. So no major damage to my house. But it's like literally just my little block. Every place around us, there are buildings literally on the ground. There was a store. It's been there for 100 years. It's rubble. There's nothing left. It's just come in with a front loader and just scoop it up. That's it. There's nothing left of it.
Well,
yeah.
That's fun. So now you're in a hotel just living the good life for a couple days?
Yeah, so I was toughing it out. I was doing the whole survival thing and everything. And I was
ridiculous.
But in order to charge my phone because while the hurricane was happening, no kidding, I was on my Amazon Kindle Fire watching a movie. I was just like, okay, well, this is happening. Let's go to the center of the house and hopefully that tree over there doesn't come in. So I just sat there, drank a beer and watched a movie. So, I mean, what am I going to do?
That's basically what a hurricane is. It's just getting drunk, party or not drunk. Sometimes some people like to play video game or not video games, but actual board games. You can spend time with your family. You can really take that time where you don't have any other option, but to spend the time with people you love. Yeah.
So I was doing the whole roughing it thing. I got my little evac bag or my bug out bag out, and I've got food, water, extra clothes, and stuff like that, which is fine. Up until you hit 90 degrees and 85% humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And just walking outside, you go through your clean clothes real fast. And when you have no running water, there's no way to wash them. And I was like, okay, this is getting kind of ridiculous. So let's find a hotel. But I had to go. Yeah, I had to go into Houston on the west side of Houston. So it's as far away from my house as I could possibly get, because there are no hotels between Lake Charles and West Houston. And actually, this place only had 2 rooms left, and they weren't even sure if they had those because they're literally everybody's coming all at once. But I was able to slide in, at least take a shower.
just can I have a drop of charge for my phone?
Yeah.
Just one plug. That's all I need. I promise I won't bother you. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I mean, at least you were able to survive a couple days, you know what I mean? And do your thing, get your little survival guy on, and then luckily there was a good place for you to stay. So what do you think your future plans are looking like?
Well, I only booked this place for about 4 days. I have checked the official power company website, and they are only 85% complete with the damage survey.
And that's just a survey.
That's just a survey. I mean, I'm watching the numbers, and they are slowly, customers without power, that is slowly coming up. So it went from 117,000 to about, 85,000. But they're only repairing and turning on power for people that can actually safely receive the power. And I've got pictures, and it looks like dominoes. I'm serious. All the power poles on one side of the street are literally knocked over. There's trains. The train cars are flipped over on their side off the track. So I was like, okay,
Jesus.
I know how much those things weigh. And these were not empty. These were full. So there's grain or rice or whatever the hell it was hauling is spilling out of the top. And I was like, that's some fucking weight.
That's insane. Oh my goodness. And then all that stuff is just basically gone.
Yeah, it's trash.
Oh my God.
So I traveled around the entire area.
Nice little vacation.
Well, I'm trying to charge my phone.
I'm not sightseeing, goddamn. I need a fucking charger right now.
Yeah, it's for when we did get kind of the spotty little service, because it'll come in and then it'll go back out and then it'll come back in again. And because I'm on Google Fi, I dynamically jump from one carrier to the next. So it goes from one carrier, okay, out of cell tower for this one, so it picks up this one. And if one goes down, then you pick up the strongest signal from the other one. So I'm dynamically jumping carriers and I'm watching this thing go across the top as it's just bouncing cell towers. I'm like, fuck me. But yeah,
that's exhausting.
The entire place is just fucking I mean, there's, oh my gosh. And amazingly enough, it's like my one little block, we all got off easy. Except for
God
one.
was like, not today, Johnny boy, not today. I'll get you next time.
All except for one neighbor, and they're like across the street. And I was just looking at the front side of their house, the whole back side of their house, where they had this add-on glass enclosure deck. That's gone.
They're probably looking around like, oh, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I was kind of looking out. I walked outside, I think a couple days later, and I looked over and I'm like, what's all their furniture? Why is it on the side of the road? Their house is fine. So I kind of walked around, and you can see where the original house is and where their add-on was. Everything that was in the add-on is sitting on the side of the road for cleanup because it just got soaked.
Oh, man. And I can only imagine being a trash man or an electrician, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think, aside from the future of obviously going back home and sitting in the dark and probably whittling, which is like with all the sticks that are in your yard. What do you think your future also entails? How you think you're going to get some charge ups?
Well, actually, I've got my emergency. Actually, it's my car jumper, and it's just a little tiny handheld little deal, and it takes forever to bring that thing up to a 100% charge. But I was able to bring it in to the hotel, plug it in, let it get a complete charge, and that will actually run my phone for a good 8-9 days. I just got to plug it in and off the USB. But if I need to jump my car off, I plug in the other cables and start my car.
Okay.
Yeah, best $60 investment I've made. And that thing, it holds one hell of a charge for a long time and fits in my glove box.
Look at that. See, here we go. This is the answers that you guys are looking for. You're stuck, and we think 2020, can it really get worse? We're in a pandemic. Yeah. I imagine in an economic recession, people are literally jobless and now they had to go, and that's insane. So the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is that 2020 can only get better from this point. I firmly believe it.
I mean, actually, it's not joking there because, not last week, but the week before. So right before all this hit, okay, so we have Corona. Well, I was also injured at my job, and after a year of going through recovery and everything else, I was let go. So now I'm looking for a job during a pandemic and a hurricane recovery. And the places that I put in for, they don't exist anymore.
Right. Like, sir, are you willing to, I know you applied to be a police officer, but are you willing to do construction by any chance? Because we have a real big need for that. Hey, man, maybe you could be a foreman.
In the military, I used to license people on how to use bulldozers, cranes, forklifts, front loaders, back loaders, earth movers.
Get you a hazmat suit, man, and just like walk around with a donation bucket and be like, like checking for radiation or something after this hurricane and pandemic. People would believe that, I think. And you could just have a bucket. Or like one of those scanners, that they use at the airport. Like one of those wands. And just be like checking for radiation, $5. You probably clean up.
Radon detection. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I'm just going through, and whatever happens. I mean, you just got to be proactive about it. Just like we keep saying, you got to be proactive. If you're not proactive, or if you're scared of something, fear will literally paralyze you.
Yeah.
Because you can't think outside of that fear. So
always have a go bag. Always have a plan in place for a hurricane. Don't tell me, Ashley, we don't get hurricanes. Listen, I did not think we were going to go through a global pandemic either. But as we can see from 2020, if you don't believe this, you know it now. Anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. So just take it as it comes. Handle whatever is sitting in front of you at that moment. Take care of that. And let whatever happens after that, don't
Don't fret.
You get caught up in all that stuff and you won't do anything. Yeah, so I was just sitting back and I was like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous. There's nothing here for me right now, so let's go do something. And so I left the city and checked into a hotel and worked on not working. Take a break.
That's it. That's a nice vacation from your life. I mean, it's been a stressful couple weeks for you. So I mean, maybe the whole point was for you to be able to just kind of get away and think about things and chill for a couple days without any pressure. I mean, that's probably what you needed. Unfortunately, it came at the price of an entire
everything
city.
else.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like unfortunately, your need for a vacation was so bad you had to wait for your entire city to be destroyed. Another lesson, ladies and gentlemen, don't wait for your city to be destroyed. Take breaks as needed. So as far as our uploading schedule, we'll be back
Sporadic.
sporadically for a while because John, he's got a little energy crisis going on. But of course, we'll always try and get something to you. At least, I imagine.
As soon as we can.
Yeah.
Because, they're only 85% of the way complete with just the damage survey. And there is no date as to when we will come back up. Literally, when you go to the website and you look at the area, it's like all green. All these places have power. And then just boom, this huge red blob. And you click on it and you can see how many faults that they have. And it's like 18 affecting 1,000, 1,200 people. Click on this one and it's another 36 affecting 10,000, 11,000 people.
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all the substations that are like out. They can bring the substation up, but the power lines that are down on the city street, those still have to be rewired. They got to dig up the old pole because we can't put anything underground because water table's 6 feet down. So everything has to go up on poles. So they have to dig those up.
Yeah. You just live on a fucking swamp. Like, oh my goodness. And that's insane. So yeah, uploading will be as quick as possible, but be patient with us. Now is the perfect time, like it was before, to binge listen to all of our previous shows. Get caught up on your Girls Ask Guys show content. Maybe we'll come back with some trivia questions. I don't know. But either way, get caught up, get familiar with who we are, check out the website, read some of our blogs, get intimately familiar with who you are, because I can guarantee you when we're back on regular schedule, we will be back on regular schedule in full force.
Yeah. And hopefully we will have some additional stuff that we can announce to you that we've kind of been working on in the back end. But until then, really, this whole episode right now is, we've had our Corona version, so this is our hurricane
and one
version.
of us is bound to be hit by the hurricane, actually. We both live in, hurricane fucking alley, so unfortunately it had to be John. Hopefully next year it's neither of us. And, you guys, just like I said, just get caught up on our content. Listen to some of our investigative shows. I think they're really good. And be safe.
Yeah, be safe. And I mean, you never know when something's going to come. So
be prepared.
Like I said, I have these emergency bags. I pretty much purchased everything on Amazon. It fits in a little backpack. Grab the backpack and go. Actually, those bags I've had them for the last. I think I pull everything that edible and stuff like that. I pull all that out, replace it like once every 5 years or something. But it gets you through. And
you made it.
Yeah, I'll be heading back. Day that we upload this on Thursday, I'll be heading back in to see what the hell is going on, and then I'll make up my mind what the fuck I want to do after that.
That's it. All right, guys. So that's our show. Just keeping you posted, keep you updated. We will have all the latest hurricane updates as soon as we possibly can. Electricity withholding.
Yeah, I kind of need electricity and internet.
You might have to record in a Starbucks, man.
Yeah. Well, my internet connection was actually literally ripped out of the house.
Right from the ground, too, because that's where ours is. And, whenever there's a hurricane, it just, and a tree falls, I don't know how hard trees fall, but it just...
Yeah, one of the trees actually, it hit the power line from the power pole to my house. The actual pole that the power comes in through is, I think it's at a 65-degree angle, something like that. But the internet line was right below it, and another tree branch hit it and just wrapped it up, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a ball of yarn wrapped up inside of all these tree branches. So I was like, ooh, yeah, that's going to take a while to figure out. But I actually have to get the new, like, because it pulled a good 3.5, 4 feet of the cable that went into my house out of my house.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I looked at that, and I've got to replace the junction box that I had in the attic because it, like, literally moved that a couple feet. I mean, just out the girder, ripped out the screws and everything. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, okay, that's going to take a while to replace. So that's my internet situation. So even if I get
his story.
So even if I get one, I still have to repair another. So it's a couple bucks, couple of hours, but I need my AC back before I actually tackle that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's honestly the worst part of a hurricane when you lose power and all that shit. Not having air conditioning, especially in like a place like Louisiana or a place like Florida, you would end up possibly choking your family members because it gets so hot.
Well, I haven't run my AC in over a year.
That's insane,
to be honest. But I opened the windows and I turned the ceiling fans on, and it keeps it at it's most people find it uncomfortable. I find it rather comfortable. I mean, I'm sitting in this hotel room right now, and they had AC set 72, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's cold.
What?
I cranked it up.
68 or bust in this house. Okay, that's why my parents moved me when I was younger to the guest. I sleep in 68-degree weather all year long.
I have this thing set. It is at 81. But when I'm sitting there with 95 and 85% humidity because of all the rain, I was like, okay. I've dealt with Iraq. That was 120, but it was like zero humidity and no AC. I can handle that. I can go to the desert. I can handle that. But you crank that humidity level up.
That shit is different. It is a different kind of heat that nobody deserves.
It's a heat that just doesn't go away.
It just does. You can't, like, even if you take your clothes off, like, you can get into the shower, you get back out of the shower, fuck it, you're hot again. You know what I mean? Like, you have to sit in a pool basically all day.
I was doing the whole field shower thing that we learned in survival training.
Listen.
Take your washcloth, get it fucking wet, but yeah, even when you do that, you're just like smearing the dirt.
The heat, yes, you're smearing heat on your body. It is insane. Humidity is literally what I imagine the devil is supposed to be. That's what I think humidity is. And I think the closer you live or the more humid of a place you live, the worse you were in your past life because the shit feels like a punishment to a certain degree.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, I don't care about that. I'm done.
We're not doing this anymore.
I don't have to do this. I was simply doing it because I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I just want to like sit there, read my book,
right? Like
play around with my guitar. I just wanted to just leave me alone. And I was like, okay, I don't have to do this. We need to do some fucking laundry.
This is bullshit. Oh no. Hello, Econo Suites. Are you there? No, you're closed. Hi, is this Miss Jones from 4th grade? Do you have a place for me to stay?
Yeah, actually, it's like, hey, Max, you got Paris's number? Hey, Paris? Right. Yeah, I need a hotel. Could you kind of call somebody?
Somewhere. Help. Okay, yeah. But that's it, guys. I mean, that's the hurricane update for you.
Yeah, so be prepared, and, well, we'll get back with you when we get back with you. So
happy hurricaning. If you are safe and sound, good for you. If you're still looking for help, like I said, hopefully we can provide some of those links to hurricane relief resources for you. And as always, keep it cool, keep it classy, keep it casual.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever say that, but I like as always.
But until then, we will talk to you on the next one, whenever we get the next one up.
Hopefully we have
Hopefully it's going to be soon. But until then, we will talk to you later.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.